hot sugar. Ah, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey, ah, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the love and just some loving you.
I just can't believe it's true.
I just can't believe the one who love is feeling too.
I just can't believe it's true.
Ah, sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Ah, honey, ah, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be.
Know how sweet a kiss can be.
Like the summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me.
Pour your sweetness
over me. Oh, sugar, pour your sugar on me, baby.
gonna make your life so sweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour a little sugar on it. Yeah. Pour a little sugar on it, honey. Pour a little sugar on it, baby.
Gonna make your life so sweet. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Pour a little sugar on it, honey. Hot sugar. Ah, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Oh, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Ah, sugar. Ah, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. All right. Number one hit. The name of the group was the Archies. That was actually a fictional band. The Archies in 1968, there was a cartoon show, and the characters were part of a band. And there were two studio musicians. One was Ron Dante, the other Tony Wine, made up that group. And I heard some information that they tried to sell that song actually to the Monkees before it got released as the Archies. So the Monkees turned them down. Turned out to be a number one hit. And that was July of 1969. July of 1969, that was a number one hit for the Archies. All right, moving on to our next selection. You'll remember this one. Great song. You can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye and let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile for the man who held your hand in the flame of light. But don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Oh, I know that the music is fine like sparkling wine. Have your fun, laugh and sing while we're apart. Don't give your heart to anyone. So don't forget who's taking you home So go, darling, save the last dance for me. Baby, don't you know I love you so? Feel it when we touch. I will never, never let you go. I love you oh so much. You can dance, go carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. If he asks if you're all alone, can he take you home? You must tell him no. 'Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Oh, we can stationary cha-cha this one. Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. 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 All right, does anybody know the group? Do we know the group? It was the Drifters from #1 hit, September of 1960s. The Drifters actually formed in 1953. A man named Clyde McPatter formed the group. And the group was a very, very dysfunctional, they say one of the worst paid musical groups at that time. They had over 60 vocalists that joined the group over the years. But one of them of great renown was Ben E. King. And he did the song Stand By Me, which he did as a solo. But he was a great singer with the Drifters. And Benny King died at 76 quite a few years ago. Anyway, a great song. Moving on. Ooh, just a little bit longer. Please, 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 please tell me you're going to. 'Cause your daddy don't mind and your mama don't mind. So have another dance with me, just one more. One more time, won't you stay just a little bit longer? Please, 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 you will say you will. Won't you press your sweet lips to mine? Won't you say you love me all of the time? Hey, oh, 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 just a little bit longer. Please, 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 please tell me you're going to. Come on, come on, come on, stay. 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 Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs. #1 hit. October 1960 for that one. What can we tell you about Maurice and the Zodiacs? Not too much. Maurice was born in 1938 in doo-wop R&B band. And if you remember one song he did, Maurice Williams, a little before that in the 50s, he did Little Darling, do, 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 do. do do. Oh, darling, do do. Ba ba da. Remember that one? That was Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs, number one. All right, this is going to be a fun song. You ready for this one? I remember when I heard this on the radio when I was just a kid. Oh my. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was afraid that somebody would see.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the locker she wanted to stay.
2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more.
She was afraid to come out in the open, so a blanket around her she wore. Was afraid to come out of the open, so she sat bundled up on the shore.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, so in the blanket she wanted to stay.
2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more.
Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and I wonder what she's gonna do. Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and the poor little girl's turning blue.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, so in the water she wanted to stay.
From the locker to the blanket, from the blanket to the shore, from the shore to the water.
I guess there isn't any more. Oh, that song I have great memories of. That was from Brian Hyland, and it was recorded and hit number one in July of 1960. Remember that one on KXOK? Of course you do. Fun song. Anyway, I've got a little bit about Brian here. Brian is born in 1943, age 76. He also did a song called Sealed with a Kiss. Remember that one? Sealed with a kiss. Oh, I want to say goodbye for the summer. Anyway, I'm not doing that one tonight, but I remember that song. It was a great one. Sealed with a kiss. All right, looking for our next big hit. All right, this is a totally different song. Well, it's kind of fun too, but it was more of a group song. We'll just do a song by the Beatles while we're waiting. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. You think you've lost your love? Well, I saw her yesterday. It's you she's thinking of. And she told me what to say. She said she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She said she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She said you heard her song, she almost lost her mind. But now she says she knows you're not the hurt kind. she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She said she loves you, and you know you should be glad. Ooh, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. You know it's up to you. I think it's only fair. Pride can't hurt you too. Apologize to her because she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. Said she loves you, and you know you should be glad. Ooh, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Beatles. Looking for the year of that one. January 1964, number one hit for the Beatles. Let's see if we can get back to this other song. Another Beatles song. Number one hit. Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do. Oh, love me do. Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do. Oh, love me do. Someone to love, somebody new. Someone to love, someone like you. Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do. Oh, love me do. Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do. Oh, love me do. Oh, please love me do. Oh, yes, love me do. Oh, you love me do. Oh, love me do. Yeah, love me do. The Beatles. Number one hit. Love Me Do. Looking up the year for you on that one.
If you wanna be
happy for the rest of your life. Never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. If you wanna be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. Pretty woman makes her husband look small, very often causes his downfall. Soon as she marries, her life will stop. Do things that will break his heart. But if you want to make an ugly woman your wife, you'll be happy for the rest of your life. An ugly woman cooks and meals on time. She'll always give you peace of mind. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. Take it away, boys. Your friends say you have no taste, go ahead and marry anyway. So her face is ugly, her eyes don't match. Take it from me, you get the better catch. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. Say man, hey baby, I saw your wife the other day, yeah. She is ugly. Yeah, she's ugly, but she sure can cook. You want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. You want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. All right, how about that one, huh? That is Jimmy's Soul. Number one hit from March 1963. Jimmy's Soul. He was actually a preacher at the age of 7, sang gospel songs in the church, and turned out to get that number one hit. Hard to believe, but he did it. Great singer. We're going to have to go another direction, but we'll come back to it. Let that revisit. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't satisfaction. That I try, and I try, and I try, and I try. I can't get no, I can't get no. When I'm driving in my car, and then comes on the radio, well, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to drive my imagination. I can't get no, no early action. But I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried. Can't get no, I can't get no. When I'm driving around the world, and I'm doing this, and I'm trying to bed, and I'm trying to make some girl tells me, baby, better come back maybe next week, 'cause you see I'm on a losing streak. I can't get no, 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 no. Hey, 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 that's what I say. I can't no, no satisfaction, no satisfaction. The Rolling Stones, the #1 hit. Let's see when that one was. Like I say, I got so many songs on here, it's getting complicated. I need to split more out so I can read these things easier. There it is. June of 1965, that was the #1 hit for the Stones. Walk right in, sit right. Mama, let your daddy go along. Everybody's talking about a new way of walking. Do you want to lose your mind? Walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind go along. Walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind go along. Walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind go along. Everybody's talking about a new way of walking. Do you want to lose your mind? You walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind go along. Walk right in, sit right down. Baby, let your hair hang down. Right in, sit right down. Baby, let your hair hang down. Everybody's talking about a new way of walking. Do you want to lose your mind? Walk right in, sit right down. Baby, let your hair hang down. Walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind roll on. Walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind roll on. Everybody's talking about a new way of walking. Do you want to lose your mind? Walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind roll on. Yeah. Daddy, let your mind roll on. That song, #1 hit from January 1963, and the name of the group, Top Singers. Oh, I could hide beneath the wing of a bluebird as she sings. along would never rain, but it rained and I rocked, wiped the sleep of my eyes. A shaver razor's cold and it stings. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? You once thought of me as a white knight on the street. Now you know how happy I can be. Oh, the good times start to end without dollar one to spend. But how much, baby, do we really need? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? You recognize that group? The Monkees. And that was a #1 hit, November 1967, from the TV show, The Monkees. Those guys started out just to play a popular group, a band. Turned out to be #1 hits, and they all turned out to be very talented. Some great singers and musicians. All right, we should be able to move along fairly quickly here. Sorry for the issues with technical problems. That's all it can plague, though. Never ending battle. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of beneath the halo of a street lamp. Turn my collar to and down. Eyes stared by a flash of neon light. Split the night, touch the sound of silence. Big at night I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. my world like silent rains fell. Echoes well of silence, and the people not afraid to be ungodly faith. And the sci-fi's got its warning in words that it was funny. And the sign said the words of the prophet are written on the subway wall, Gentleman Hall, whispered the sounds of silence. Simon and Garfunkel, #1 hit for the boys. Oh, they had many, many. November 1965 for Simon and Garfunkel. #1, #1. There is a house in New Orleans, they call flies in summer, and it's big, the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm warm. Winds on the drum. Many a poor boy, God, I know I'm wrong. Number one hit. Yeah, find that one. It said there were 204 songs originally that made number one during the decade of the 60s. I did about 60 of them during these 3 volumes, maybe a little bit over 60. But anyways, I'm getting this list. I'm getting it. I can't find all my notes anymore. There it is, The Animals, August 1964, number one hit.
It's been a hard day tonight. I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day tonight. Should be sleeping like a dog. But when I get on to you, I find the thing that you do will make me feel alright. You know I work all day to get you money to buy you things, and it's worth it just to hear you say you're gonna give me everything. So why on earth should I want? 'Cause when I get you close, you know it feels okay. Everything seems to be right when I'm home, feeling you holding me tight. Yeah, it's been a hard day night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day night. I should be sleeping like a dog. But when I get on to you, I find the things that you do will make me feel okay. Everything seems to be right when I'm home, feeling you holding me tight, tight. Yeah, it's been a hard day night, and I'm working like a dog. It's been a hard day night, should be sleeping like a dog. But when I get on to you, I find the things that you do will make me feel okay. You know I feel okay. You know I feel alright.
The Beatles, number one hit. All right, that was July of 1964. The Beatles, number one. I love this song. Oh, how do you like my shirt? Eddie got me those too. Sunshine came softly through my window today. Could have turned out easy, but I changed my ways. It'll take time, I know it, but in a while, gonna be mine, I know it. We'll do it in style. 'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I'm telling you right now, any tree in the book, baby, that I can find. Superman or Green Lantern ain't got nothing on me. I can make like a turtle and dive for your pearl in the sea, yeah. You used to sit there sleeping on your velvet throne.
I know a place where you can have for your own. 'Cause I've made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I tell you right now, any trick in the book, baby, that I can find. Everybody's hustling just to get a little scene. When I say be cool, I think you know what I mean. You stood there on the beach at sunset. Do you remember when? I know a beach where, baby, it never ends. When you made your mind up, you're ever to be mine. Ooh, pick up your hand, slowly blow your little mind. 'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I'll tell you right now, any trick in the book, baby, that I can find.
Oh, this shirt works perfect with the black light. You know, if I had a black light.
Ain't got nothing on me. I can make like a Churchill and die for your pearl in the sea. Yeah, you get to sit there thinking on your velvet throne about all the rainbows that you can have for your own. When you made your mind up forever to be mine, I tell you right now, any trick in the book, baby, that I can find. You made your mind up forever to be mine. Oh yeah, pick up your hand, slowly blow your little mind.
Anybody know the artist? Donovan. Donovan, that was, came out in 66. Let's see when that was number one. Probably right around that same time. We'll just go with that. Scottish artist, born in 1946. And that music was called psychedelic pop. Like I said, this shirt is perfect for it, isn't it? This is a great tie-dye. Thank you. Complete change of pace. It's hard to believe these same songs were in the 60s. You know I stand in line until you think you have a time to spend the evening with me. And if we go someplace that you dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. And afterwards we stop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two. Then I go sport off saying something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same old lines you heard the night before. Though it's just a line to you. To me it's true, it never seemed so right before. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say to make the meaning come true. And I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the night's so blue. Then I go and spot off by saying something stupid like I love you. You know I would never say a word like that, would I? The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the nights are blue. Then I go spoiled off by saying something stupid like I love you. 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 Artist Frank and Nancy Sinatra. Unfortunately, Nancy wasn't with me tonight. She had to get her go-go boots repaired and her blonde hair done since the karaoke, or since the quarantine, rather. Anyway, it sounds a lot better if you got the someone else singing that harmony part. But that was a #1 hit for Frank and Nancy, Something Stupid. It was a good song. I remember it on the radio. I listened to it back in that time period. Baby says she's mine, you know, she tells me all the time, you know, she said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine. I'm so glad that she's my little girl. She's so glad she's telling all the world that her baby does the things, you know, buys her diamond rings, you know, she said so. She's in love with me and I feel fine. Baby says she's mine, you know, tells me all the time, you know, she said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine. I'm so glad that she's my little girl. She's so glad she's telling all the world that her baby buys her things, you know, buys her diamond rings, you know, she said so. She's in love with me and I feel fine. She's in love with me and I feel fine. The Beatles, I feel fine. December 1964, #1 hit for the Beatles. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. The girls as sharp as her are something rare. But it's sad, she doesn't love me now. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to pine. She wants to return things I bought her. Tell her she can keep them just the same. Things have changed, she doesn't love me now. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to pine. Walking about, even in a crowd, well, you pick her out. Makes the bloke feel so proud if she finds that I've been round to see her. Tell her that I'm well and feeling fine. Don't let on, don't say she's broke my heart. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to pine. Talking about, even in a crowd, well, you pick her out. Makes a bloke feel so proud if she finds that I've been round to see you. Tell her that I'm well and feeling fine. Don't let on, don't say she's broke my heart. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to pine. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. 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 Herman's Hermits, #1 hit. I think I'm gonna be sad, thinking today, yeah. The girl that's driving me mad is going away. She's got a ticket to ride, she's got a ticket to ride, she's got a ticket to ride, but she don't care. She said that living with me was bringing her down, yeah. But she could never be free when I was around. She's got a ticket to ride, she's got a ticket to ride, she's got a ticket to ride, but she don't care. Don't know why she's riding so high. She ought to think right, she ought to do right by me before she gets to say goodbye. She ought to think right, she ought to do right by me. I think I'm gonna be sad, thinking today, yeah. The girl that's driving me mad is going away. She's got a ticket to ride, she's got a ticket to ride, she's got a ticket to ride, but she don't care. I don't know why she's riding so high. She ought to think right, she ought to do right by me
before she gets to saying goodbye. Sure to think right, sure to do right by me. Living with me, bringing her down, yeah. She would never be free. I was around. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. But she don't care. My baby 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 don't care. The Beatles. Another #1 hit for the Beatles. My goodness. They had tons of them, didn't they? Ticket to Ride. April 1965. #1. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything moving. Wild thing. Wild thing. Think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Come on and hold me tight. I love you. Wild thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything moving. Wild thing, wild thing. Wild thing, think you move me. I wanna know for sure. Come on and hold me tight. You move me. Wild thing. Thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything moving. Wild thing. Shake it, wild thing. Come on, wild thing. Wild thing. The Trogs, #1. June 1966, #1 for the Trogs. Yeah! Slow it down a little bit. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday, suddenly, why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I'd say something more. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Why believe in yesterday? Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I'd say something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe yesterday. The Beatles, actually Paul McCartney and the Beatles. September 1965 for Paul. Shall we say? Number one hit for Paul McCartney. Oh, by the way, I have a little tip jar. If you feel like giving me a few bucks, that'd be great, just to show me you appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well. I hope those of you that are stuck in and just listen to me that aren't going out because of the coronavirus stuff, hang around. And if you're just not doing anything on a Tuesday and want to stop in, I'm going to continue to do these. Actually next week, at least so far, I think I'm going to start going into the 70s. And I think we'll do number one hits from the 70s. So I don't even know how many there were. I'm sure, like this grouping from the whole decade, I'm sure there's in the 200s, but we'll try to do some of those. Maybe have to break it up into 3 volumes. I don't know. We may do something in between. So let me know if you got any requests or anything you'd like me to do. I'll do my best to facilitate that. We may go off rail a little bit and throw in some of the songs that I'm missing, sticking in the 60s. Because I love a variety of music, that's for sure. And thank you all for coming too. We have a few more songs for you. In that fancy clothes, I have to turn my head into the dark door. I see a line of cars, they're all painted black, with flowers and my love hope never to come back. I see you turn your head, quickly walk away, like a new baby. It happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door and I want to paint it black. Maybe then I'll fade away, not have to face the back. It's not easy facing your whole world is black. No more migrating seek to deeper blue. I could not foresee these things happening to you. If I'm not hard enough adored and I wanted painted black. No colors anymore, I want them featured black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their fancy clothes. I have to turn my head until the darkness goes. See the sun flooded out of the sky. I want to see it painted, 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 painted black. Yeah.
Rolling Stones, Painted Black, #1 hit. May 1966 for the Rolling Stones.
Do I need your love, baby? Yes, you know it's true. Hope you need my love, baby, just like I do you. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, baby. 8 days a week, love you every day, girl. Always on my mind. One thing I can say, girl, I love you all the time. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week, 8 days a week, I love you. 8 days a week is not enough to show I care. Do I need your love, babe? Yes, you know it's true. Hope you need my love, babe, just like I do you. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. I ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week, 8 days a week, I love you. 8 days a week is not enough to show I care. Ooh, I need your love, girl. You're always on my mind. One thing I can say, girl, I love you all the time. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week, 8 days a week, 8 days a week.
The Beatles, #1. That's our last song of the night. I want to thank you all for coming in, stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. We only had a couple of malfunctions tonight and one malfunctioning singer on one song. Didn't know the track very well. I apologize for that. So we went through 3 volumes of hits from the 60s. The decade, what a great decade. If I had the tracks, I'd do all 204, but don't want to buy that many old tracks like that. So Anyway, thank you again for joining, and hope you enjoyed the show.